Other interesting political news, you have the U.S. Navy going viral for having a picture with a rifle with a scope on backwards. Which, again, the Navy jokes sometimes write themselves. They're the Navy, not the Marines. Now, this comes from Tim Anti-Gun Kennedy. I kid, he's made a lot of statements about average people shouldn't have guns. But nevertheless, Mr. Tim Kennedy says, quote, it's not that one dude put on the scope backwards. If it's that one dude put on the scope backwards, a dude with a camera took a picture of that dude, put a scope on backwards. The person who took the picture sent that picture to the PAO office. The PAO office sent it to the person that does social media, and that person posted it. There were probably 10 people in the U.S. Navy who saw this photo and thought it was a good idea to post it. It looks like it might be a commanding officer holding, again, he's holding a rifle, an AR-15, and this, I'm not sure if he's just weak or futile, but he has someone holding his shoulder, insinuating that there's a lot of recoil from an AR-15. Which, even if you're shooting full auto, there's not much recoil. So 223 5.56 cartridge, you'd be just fine. Now, the scope is on backwards. The rifle butt is actually not even properly shouldered. So I'm not sure if this person just only played Call of Duty. I mean, I assume he went through basic training. But yeah, he's aiming through the scope and he's shooting. And I guess he has his finger on the trigger. He's shooting it. You see cartridges coming out. So he was able to successfully shoot the gun. I don't know if he shot anything because they're in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, the scope is on backwards. Which, again, I don't know if someone just playing a joke on him, but it went pretty viral. Got 591,000 views and 6.4 thousand likes. And the Navy did eventually, take down the post and delete it. But as they say, the internet is forever. Well, until the Terminators take over. But for now, we're okay. And one of the first comments comes from the rifleman saying, quote, exactly, I would say that the poor optics all the way around, and I do mean that was a pun, unquote. Getting 169 likes, because I appreciate a good word pun. That was a good one. Meme Team says, quote, WTF was he actually aiming at? Jerkoff probably didn't even hit the ocean. And someone took a picture of a scope where you're looking at it the opposite way. And yeah, it's comical how much further away everything is when you're looking at the opposite side of the scope. They got 346 likes. John Galt said, quote, woke Navy leadership explains everything. Man, General Quarters, LOL. They got 110 likes. Tactical Pro Shop said, quote, you missed the guy that handed their CO a rifle in this condition. Gave 163 likes. That being said, this person's looking through the scope, not shouldering it properly, and apparently needs help with the minuscule recoil for an AR-15. That kid got 63 likes. Dirt says, quote, yeah, but I bet they don't misgender people and use pronouns properly. Focus on what's important to him. I got 456 likes. Dan Blazerian says, quote, that's what happens when you put a cross-dressing admiral with a turkey gizzard as in charge. Getting 593 likes. Heather said, quote, wonder if they toss the shells in the air like confetti. Getting 51 likes. Just a Name says, quote, he also needs an assistant marksman to reduce the recoil using his hand, using on his shoulder. Getting 64 likes. Because again, if you're not into firearms, an AR-15 is one of the lowest recoil rifles you could possibly operate, even firearm in general. It's much less than even a 12-gauge shotgun, which is known for having a lot of recoil. Now, you have Shakespearean Danger Monkey says, quote, I just tend to think that someone, or at least a few folks, have been pretty wicked sense of humor. I pray so, at least. Getting 58 likes. Subdued Psych says, quote, Biden's America, getting 31 likes. Let's see, scrolling down. Glenn Bradley says, quote, he also left the dust cover closed on the eyepiece and currently LARPing at the objective and getting 8 likes. Let's see here. Barry Hughes says, quote, my thing is, if you think you might have put on the scope backwards and aren't sure, just look through it. If stuff doesn't look really far away, then turn it around, getting 9 likes, which, yeah, precisely. Even if you're never shot a gun before and never used a scope before, just conceptually, scopes are intended to make objects appear closer. If you look through it and they look even further away than with the naked eye, I mean, certainly you would realize something isn't right. NH Voice State Rep Tim Cahill says, quote, For sure, no gas or muzzle flash. They fake the shells too. Getting 1 like. Yeah. I'm actually surprised the dust cover is off in that case. Trying to see if there's any rounds in the magazine because it has a clear PMag. Again, it's not the best photo. Well, obviously, but the resolution is also not great. If you scroll in, I see a lot of spring on the magazine. I wonder if it's completely empty. I can't see the red line for the round indicator. But let's see here. Let's see what other comments there are. We'll do 1 or 2 more comments. Eben Raj says, quote, high probability that all 10 of them were DEI hires. I'm getting 4 likes. Let's see. Veteran Hipster says, quote, this is what happens when you drop the GED requirements and get into the Navy. I'm getting 11 likes. Let's see here. Space Cadet 60 says, quote, maybe someone is sending a message to their CO. I'm getting 6 likes, which, again, that's a great way to make your CO look more like a moron. Again, again, I don't know how he didn't realize he was like, even if they faked it so that he wasn't actually shooting the gun, he was holding it up to eye level. It just, there's so many ineptitudes in that picture, and it doesn't make the Navy look good. And again, every military branch, even with reducing competency levels and testing levels, they're all failing their recruitment numbers, with the exception of the Marines. Every year we're having a deficit where they're not hitting the recruitment goals. And that's for a myriad of reasons, including Americans being overweight and unhealthy in general. And this certainly isn't an inspirational picture. It's not, again, it just makes them look foolish and just doesn't put them in a good light. Or some might say it puts them in choppy waters. Pun obviously intended. So it'll be interesting to see if this has any effect on the recruitment numbers. I mean, maybe a little bit in the very short term. I mean, they already deleted it, but it went viral, so a lot of people are talking about it, and I think it just continues to highlight some of the ineptitudes of some of the military people. Again, obviously, majority of them are still great, hardworking folks, patriots that all the most respect for their service. Now, these instances just don't make them look good, and they certainly don't inspire people to actually join the Navy. Interestingly enough, what branch would you choose to join if you had to choose one? And let me know what you thought of that post. As always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.